I've been playing Soviets a lot lately in 1v1, and I've noticed that a lot of people have been complaining about the conscript support tactics, and that the only reason I win is because I use this doctrine. And it's a really strong doctrine, there's no denying that, so I'm going to put that theory to the test. I'm going to only use the doctrine that I consider to probably be the worst doctrine the Soviets have, so let's break it down. Guard motor coordination tactics. Has the super mortar and guards, so it's probably right out, plus the T-34-85 is pretty good as well. Can't use that. This one has guards hit the dirt in the conscript assault package, so certainly rules that one out. This one's got shock troops, the camo for the AT gun, flame tank, IS-2, and incendiary barrage. Pretty solid doctrine. I definitely would not consider that one the worst. Over here we've got shock troops, armored vehicle detection, which is awful because it costs munitions to use. Conscript repair, which is pretty good, the IS-2 and bomb strike. Still probably a pretty solid doctrine, so I'm not going to use that one. Over here we've got radio intercept, recon, rapid conscription, fear propaganda, and the Sturmovik. That is a pretty awful doctrine. I cannot even imagine ever using that one, so that's a real candidate. Over here we've got shock troops, recon, flame tank, incendiary, and fear propaganda. Again, pretty bad. At least that one has shock troops. This one has no call-ins. I don't know. And of course I cannot use this one, the one that is the subject of all the complaints. So I guess we've narrowed it down to either NKVD rifle disruption or anti-infantry tactics. This one has 0 call-ins. This one at least has the flame tank and shock troops. This one has just radio intercept and then active munitions abilities. So that is really just awful. So NKVD rifle disruption it is. Let's see if we can win any games using it. I guess I could probably switch out my bulletins too, although I really don't think any bulletins have a meaningful impact on the game. At least none of the ones I have unlocked. As far as elite infantry call-ins, shock troops, and guard rifles, I'm really on the fence with them because they are just so expensive, shock troops especially. I really don't think that they justify their expense. They should be able to wipe the floor with any enemy infantry, and they're really not versatile at all. The smoke grenade is kind of neat, but in general they are just not worth 480 manpower. There's no way that I couldn't spend that in a better fashion than on shock troops. Guard rifles are decent. They have grenades, they're okay anti-infantry. Pretty good anti-light vehicle. Really good counter to the flame half-track. But their rate of fire is just a little on the slow side. Button is of course a great ability. Pretty versatile, pretty useful in a lot of situations, but again they're expensive. If you lose a bunch, they can be expensive to reinforce. You'll bleed a lot of manpower. And pretty much everything they do, another unit of yours could do better. You'll probably experience a lot more success with an actual AT gun than with guard rifles. But if you wanted to go with special rifle command, then guard rifles can be a good way to offset that start until you make it to that SU. So if we think about this doctrine that I'm going to be using, probably going to still want to go with a conscript start, and probably going to want to go into the support weapon Campania, because I'm going to need AT guns. I'm not going to have guard rifles. I don't really want to get scout car, penal, or snipers. So I need to get AT grenades, and then I need to get an AT gun, so that I can deal with flame half-tracks and then eventually tanks. I'm not going to have hit the dirt, and I'm not going to have conscript assault package though, so my conscripts are not going to scale very well. So maybe I'll only get 1 or 2 squads of conscripts. And I'll probably need some support weapons. I'll probably need to get actual MGs. Or a mortar. In fact, maybe I won't get conscripts at all. Maybe I'll just go with a support weapon Campania start. Because conscripts without upgrades can be really awful. I mean, Molotovs and AT grenades are nice. In fact, AT grenades might even be necessary in some situations. Alright, we got a game. Cowboy on Minsk Pocket. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go with a support weapon Campania start on this map. It's a little too big. Although, you can crank out MGs just as fast as you can crank out conscripts once the building is up.